Well, thank you very much, Council President, and thank you very much to Councilmember Friedson for really running with the ball on this one. It's really important to make sure that we get out in front of this. As a husband of a small business owner here in Montgomery County, I can tell you that folks are incredibly concerned about what our support is going to be for small businesses, not just for themselves, but also for their employees. And so I really appreciate, Councilmember Friedson, your conversations with me about what we need to try and do to ensure that while we want to protect the business owners and the businesses themselves, we're also protecting the employees as well, and figuring out how best to do that is kind of being left to the regulations in terms of how they'll be drafted. And so I know that Director Madaleno is there, and I'm not sure who else is going to be responsible for crafting these regulations. But let me just be very clear. We have to make sure that however the regulations are crafted, they're done in such a way that it's flexible. I can tell you, as a person who sat beside my wife as she went through the grant process at the state, it's very convoluted, it's very complicated, and has a lot of questions that a lot of small business owners can't answer or don't know what the answers are to, and then folks will get frustrated. And again, we're a family that's connected. We have a lot of resources and information, and at the same time, speak English. A lot of our business owners who are immigrants, who have English as a second language, are going to be incredibly challenged with filling out that state grant form, I can tell you right now. And so from that perspective, we need to make sure whatever we do in terms of our methodology for having people apply for this, that we make sure that it's easy, that it's very clear, that it asks for only pertinent information and doesn't ask for ancillary information that has nothing to do with the efficacy of applying for the grant. So there's a lot of devil in the details. And then when it comes to flexibility as well, understanding that different business models operate differently. You know, what we haven't talked about in all of this is our arts community. And many arts organizations that are out there that are businesses, very small organizations that are struggling right now. Nobody's talking about them and talking about how they're impacted. All of the nuanced businesses that we have out there are ones that we need to make sure that we're taking into account however it is that we stand this up. So I ultimately, of course, support the initiative and what it is that we're doing. I think, and I agree, this money is going to go quickly, and unfortunately it's going to be taken up, a lot of it, by larger organizations who have the ability to have someone who can apply for this very quickly and navigate throughout. I would have liked to have seen something as sort of a set-aside for smaller organizations that we know are struggling as well and don't have necessarily resources, but it doesn't mean that we can't come back to this. And so from that perspective, again, I'm incredibly supportive. I want to thank Councilmember Friedson for his leadership in doing this. I think that this will be something that we just definitely have to revisit as we know and learn that it's not going to reach all the businesses that need the help, and we're still going to have to do so much more. But thank you, everyone, for their great work on this. It is a great start for us and a great first step.